Okay, we are all set.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for coming. And well, I guess I could say coming, but thank you for attending this event. Some of you at short notice. So just wanted to share with you my excitement about Juice Plus. For me, it's mainly about the product. Um, Ever since there were vaccine injuries in my family, I have become more conscious of my health and that of those that I care about. And I had some experiences that I never want to go through again. The ambulance ride that I had in 2014 is something that I don't want to experience ever again. And the couple of times that my boy stayed in hospital for days, fighting for his life, is another thing that I told myself that I would never, ever allow it to happen. And so, what did this entail? It meant that I had to get educated when it comes to health, and I have become more conscious of what I need to do in order to maintain good health. It is my belief that a person's greatest wealth is their health. And as such, I have embarked on this journey to ensure that health and the wealth is preserved. So, yeah, without much further ado, I will hand over to Julie, and she will take over from here.
All right. Well, thank you guys for being here. I'm so excited. It was great to meet Z a few weeks ago and excited to go ahead and share with the rest of you why he is as excited as he is. Okay, so we're going to get started here with our slideshow. Or I think we're going to get started here with our slideshow. Hold on. Screen share stopped. 1 second. Did I close it? Okay. All right, hold one moment here. Somehow I hit the wrong button. Okay. Now we're going to share. All right, so Z and myself and Jenny, who's on the call, are all a part of the Juice Plus company. But really, we like to say that we are a part of community that is inspiring healthy living around the world. And we take that seriously. We really are on a mission to take healthy back. And so tonight we're going to spend a little time on education. We're going to talk about a simple solution, and then we're going to have a couple of stories about people's experience with Juice Plus, which really are amazing to hear. So stick around for that. So we need to talk about where we are currently. And that's not always the cheeriest of news, but I think if we look around us, we know that it's true. We really are unhealthy. 1 in 4 people will die of heart disease. We're dealing with cancer, diabetes, and 1 in 5 children right now is obese. Our children are more harmed by a poor diet than they are combined with exposure to drugs, alcohol, and tobacco. What and why is this happening? One of the reasons is that environmental toxins are increasing. So we've got, toxic flow coming off from all different places, right? From our landfills, from different industries. We've got stuff in our air that we're breathing. We have things in our water that we are drinking. We are putting things on our skin every day, if it's lotions or laundry detergent. You name it. We are just on overload as far as the toxic environment that we live in. Prescription drugs, plastics that we drink out of. There just are so many our body's having a hard time keeping up with. And at the same time that our environmental toxins are increasing, our food quality has been decreasing. Unfortunately, part of that is our choice, and that 50% of what we eat is processed, which is never going to be great for our body. But some of it is just because we are having a depleted soil more and more. Our produce does not have what it used to. You can see at the bottom of the screen, broccoli can lose 50 to 80% of its key nutrients even before you purchase it. So when we're eating processed food and we have all those things in it that are listed, preservatives, GMO, trans fat, And then when we do choose whole food, it's depleted. You can see where we're running into a problem. So what can we do to be healthier? There are 6 things that we can focus on. Exercise every day, a little bit of movement, right? 30 minutes a day, going for a walk, sleeping 7 to 8 hours, managing stress, which is what people call the silent killer, drinking plenty of water. A good, I don't know, rule of thumb, if you will, is half your body weight in ounces. I know for me, I fill up a pitcher on my counter with that amount of water, and that way I can just pour from it all day and know that I have drank what I needed to. That's been a win for me in the last 5 years. Using safer products. There's a little background noise there. Somebody, let's see, there we go. Using safer products. There are a ton of companies now just offering products to us, you know, healthier cleaning products, better products for our skin. But finally, it's just eating real food. And that's what we're going to talk about tonight. But within that category of eating real food, we're going to talk about focusing on fruits and vegetables. And we know that diseases are prevented with good nutrition, and specifically with a diet focused on fruits and veggies. So here's a little bit of the education piece. We're going to talk about oxidative stress. We all have oxidative stress just by breathing, by being human, okay? When we take in air, that actually creates stress in our body. So we think about good things that create stress and bad things that create oxidative stress. Let's see, bad things would be smoking, would be drinking, would be not getting enough sleep, maybe getting too much skin. That is good, too much sun. That is going to age our skin, and then also just our body in general. But good things cause oxidative stress. Having a baby is a highly stressed environment.
There's many high-level complex decision-making that needs to go into.
Also, exercise. We think of exercise as being great, and it is, but if we're not fueling our body well, then we are creating stress. And I'm not sure. I have somebody that keeps unmuting. If you could just keep yourself muted, that would be so, I'd be so thankful. Thank you. That creates stress in our body, but we have food that is designed to help us to flush those toxins out, and that is what's found in fruit and vegetables. Those are what are called antioxidants. So they basically bind with the oxidative stress in our body, and they go ahead and take those and move them out. They move them out of our body, flushing them out and helping us to detox, if you will. So that's why the news isn't that fruits and vegetables are good for you. It's that they're so good for you that they could save your life. How many do we need, right? This life-saving gift to us. We need 7 to 13 servings of fist-sized fruits and vegetables. And if you're athletic, you need even more. If you're pregnant, you need even more. If you're sick or fighting disease, you need even more. So why so many? Why? Because produce is picked before nutrition fully develops. It's transported thousands of miles. The average lettuce is going 1,500 miles before it gets to us. So it's depleted. And then we just aren't eating. Either we can't, or we don't, or we won't eat what we need to every day. And then when we do eat it, we tend to be creatures of habit. So we eat the same things over and over again. Here's a great picture that really explains what we're up against. The National Institute of Health kind of takes produce every year and freezes it, and then they go ahead and compare to a current produce. So this is a comparison between 1953 spinach and spinach that was grown in 1997. And what you can see is that the iron content in 1953, one bowl would equal the same as 53 bowls in 1997. So even if we are trying, even if you're going to the store and you're picking out produce, we are just up against a hard place because of the world that we live in and the choices that we have made how to grow food. So we knew there was a problem back in the 50s and the 60s. Government actually got behind and came up with multivitamins, and 7% of Americans are trying to fill the gap with a multivitamin. There's stores dedicated completely to vitamins, right? Your GNC, you can go to Target, to Walmart. There's just shelves and shelves of these. But a multivitamin only has a few isolated nutrients. You can see that right there. And research is showing that isolated vitamins may do more harm than good. However, whole food is a completely different story. That apple over there has over 10,000 plant chemicals in it, all of them working together in your body. The synergy is beautiful in whole food. We were not designed to eat vitamins. We can't go and find a vitamin tree, right? There's not a supplement forest somewhere. No, there's whole food and whole food alone. And that's what our creator designed us to eat. That's what we do best with. And so this is where Juice Plus enters in. And what is Juice Plus? Well, Juice Plus adds the nutrition of over 30 fruits, vegetables, and berries to your diet every day. It is the best 10-second habit that I have started, and we will continue to take as long as we can. So what they do is they take whole foods that are harvested at the peak of ripeness. Okay, so they're ripened when they are flash frozen and then used in our Juice Plus capsules. And this is a big deal because 85% of the nutrition is in the plant, is in the fruit and the vegetable and the berry when it's ripe. But we are picking things way early, 2 to 3 weeks early, and we're ripening them, on our countertop. And because of that, we don't ever get the nutrition that was supposed to be in it. Okay, so they're taking vine ripened produce, they're pulverizing it, they're not juicing it. They just extract the water. So you still get the pits and the peels and the seeds and the rinds. You get all of it in there. I don't know if you knew this, but 80% of vitamin C is in the peel of an orange. There are 20 to 30 million different strains of probiotics in the core of an apple. We're not normally eating those things, but they're all in Juice Plus. We also have a full spectrum omega blend that uses berries and seeds to get the omegas instead of fish. Many of you may be trying to bridge that gap with fish oil. Ours cuts out the fish, which is exciting. So here is the beauty of what is in Juice Plus. And when you think about that, every one of these foods was specifically designed for a system in your body. So blueberries are going to help you with your cardiovascular system. We have carrots that are designed for your eyes, and each one of these has a special place that they can go to help fuel your body the best that it can be. And then there's our omegas that I talked about, which I love. It's not just omega-3s. It's a full spectrum. So it's omega-3, 6, 5, 7, and 9, which occur in nature, and we believe all of them are important. So again, the synergy of all of them working together. They're cold pressed. That I know of, it's the only cold pressed omega on the market. And why is that important to you? Because when we heat oil, we destroy the nutritional content of it. We can make it rancid. Most of these omegas on the market are heated, and therefore just the quality is suffering. And they're vegan. So as I said, there's no fish. And that's a good thing because it takes 4 to 5 pounds of fish to get 1 ounce of oil. So not sustainable. And unfortunately, our oceans are also polluted. So we're dealing with toxins in the fish. So you're kind of, you're getting a bad and good, I guess. So with our omegas, it's just all good. I love these. They taste like orange instead of fish. And then our Juice Plus Complete Shakes, which are incredible. They're also vegan with another 14 plants in them. They are a complete amino acid. So if you are an athlete and just interested in performance, this is going to give you a complete protein, which is great. And there's a few of the proteins in there that are very rare and hard to get, but they are in all of those, along with a ton of fiber, which just keeps you full. So I love these as a meal replacement. We have them many days for breakfast. My daughter right now is in the kitchen making me some overnight oats, and she'll put Complete in there, and I'll have that for breakfast tomorrow morning, which is great. So those are complete shakes. And then what makes Juice Plus unique? This is probably my favorite slide because I know you all probably take supplements. If you're something like me, then you probably are interested in figuring out how to better your health. I would try my best to, create a supplement cocktail, if you would, for my body, but it was always a guess. Juice Plus has simplified that for me. The first reason it has simplified it is because it's food. If we look on the back of this beautiful Juice Plus bottle, we're going to see a nutrition label on the back, which is pretty awesome because usually if you flip around the bottle, you're going to see a supplement label. And a supplement label basically is telling you it's not food. And your body doesn't recognize that and doesn't know how to use it as well as it knows how to use food, okay? Then the next thing it has, it's NSF certified, which means a third party comes in and tests every single batch of Juice Plus, not once, but twice, to make sure that there are no pesticides, no fungicides, no molds or yeast, anything on it. I call this beyond organic. It's better than organic because our organic label does not mean that they can't spray all of that stuff on our food. It just means they have to do it at a lower level. So I guess a little bit of poison is better than a lot, but it's still toxic to our bodies. Juice Plus has none of it. They partner with small and medium-sized farms who have best practice. They are one of the biggest produce growers in the world. And I love that. They are just so committed to turning out a quality product. And it's really, when you think about, there's 5,000 different health products that are released on the market every year. How can we know what's in them, right? It is so important to know the company behind them. And Juice Plus, the product has been around for 27 years. And during that 27 years, you guys, they've been researching. They have pushed their chips into the research area. And I love that. Before it was popular to think that food was medicine, well, Hippocrates knew it long ago. He said, let food be thy medicine. But we had gotten away from that, right? We had gotten into Western medicine, which we call, pharmaceuticals and all that. Well, Juice Plus said, I wonder if we took food and we researched it like you would a pharmaceutical drug, double blind, placebo controlled, on people with blood drawn. I wonder if we could see what food would do in these capsules. And that's what they did. They have over 40 clinically reviewed research studies now at leading hospitals around the world. This isn't done in a Juice Plus lab. These are done in major universities and then published in major journals. And what has the research shown? It's shown that it contributes to cardiovascular wellness. It's decreasing cholesterol in 28 days, supporting a healthy inflammatory response, supporting quality of life, healthy cholesterol, changing those numbers of LDL and triglycerides, healthy lung function. There's a study that shows that although these smokers didn't stop smoking, they had better lung function in 28 days. Supporting healthy skin and gums, supporting the immune system, helping maintain healthy DNA. There's an amazing study that shows that Juice Plus helped turn off the bad genes, to put it in layman's terms, and turn on the good genes. And then that oxidative stress that we talked about earlier in the presentation, it's shown to reduce that by 75%. So it increases the telomeres in your body, which is basically anti-aging, right? And then 18 studies that show it's absorbed in the body, which, right, you are what you eat, really you are what you absorb. And so if we can absorb it, then it has the chance to do powerful things in the body. And Dr. Richard Dubois, who's one of actually 8,000 doctors that recommend our product because they recognize the power of it and the research, says this: there's nothing available any place in the world with or without a prescription that has been clinically proven to do what Juice Plus has been proven to do. We also have an amazing child's health study, which allows children to take our product for free when an adult is taking it. So children ages 4 to 18 can sign up to get Juice Plus for free. And I know that is what our family has done. And we have only seen our children's health improve. And these statistics here kind of prove that as well. That's what we're finding. They're drinking more water. They're not taking as much prescription drugs. They're visiting the doctor less. They're eating more fruits and vegetables. And then our final product is the Tower Garden. I have 2 of these. I know Jenny, who's on the call, has one as well. And this is just a simple, easy way, no matter what space you have. You live in an apartment, you don't have a yard, or you're just tired of bending down and pulling weeds, which was my story. You can grow amazing produce in a little space with 98% less water, and I would say 98% less work, 30% more yield, faster, and it's been shown to be more nutritious than what's growing in the soil, which is incredible to me. And then one little last slide that I want to share is just when we're talking about trying to be more healthy, and we're maybe focused on trying to lose weight or trying to figure out maybe why we're carrying more weight than we used to. This is a lot of people's story, and we get into just the cycle of dieting or over exercising. And so what this picture is showing you is that the person on the top there in the gray with all the little dots, those are impurities or toxins that are in our body. And we have a brilliant body who knows toxins are harmful to our vital organs and wants to keep the toxins away. So the body will store fat in order to put the toxins inside of the fat cells. So a lot of times when we're carrying extra weight, it's not because we're at home eating pints of ice cream in the evening, but it's because our body is overloaded with toxins. And we talked about this earlier on, right? Because we have environmental toxins, our food isn't helping us, and we are just on overload. The liver is trying to keep up, but the liver can only do so much. And so we deplete ourselves of calories, or we try to exercise and burn fat, and that might last for a while. But you notice that person may have gotten thinner, but they removed no toxins. So the moment that you stop exercising, the moment that you start consuming a more normal amount of calories, what does your body do? Grabs the fat back again because it needs that fat to protect you. Versus what we do with Juice Plus, it's a gentle detox every day. It's giving your body what it needs to help gently detox of those toxins. And when we do that, we go from that person that had all those little dots or toxins to that person right underneath the word cleansing who has much fewer. And because of that, the body can naturally shed the fat. We call it shred the fat. We don't have to burn it. We just naturally get rid of it because our body doesn't need it anymore. So it's not about being skinny as much as it is about being healthy. And I love that because you will have better overall health, less fat, more muscle, and no rebound. We're not going back and forth. So I think this is just a brilliant slide. It was a real aha moment to me to just try to figure out, what is going on around me with so many people struggling in this area. And Juice Plus really does have a wonderful daily answer to that. So the best part about Juice Plus, you guys, is how affordable it is, because if you grocery shop, you know that there is no way you could add or beyond organic, vine ripened produce, the amount that you get in Juice Plus for $2.50 a day, right? Not when an organic apple costs me almost that much just by itself. So $2.50 a day, kids are free. Our shakes are $2.33 a serving, which is amazing. And then $1 for our omegas. So if we look at the wonderful sugary drink, here on the right, that costs $4 more, and we know that's maybe a habit we have that's not serving us well. I look at this as a habit that can serve us incredibly well. So we are so excited you took time tonight to just hear about our mission and hear about the product that we're using to inspire healthy living around the world. And at this point, I'm going to stop sharing my screen. And Jenny, if you want to unmute yourself, that would be awesome. You can share with us your Juice Plus story.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much, Julie. What an honor to be on this call for sharing part of your story tonight with us. Me real quick, like Julie was talking about ingredients. I was an ingredient girl. I was hip to all that. Like I paid attention to the ingredients inside my home and the chemicals. I have done that for a long time. So that always made a lot of sense to me. I knew nutrition was important. But at the same time, it didn't mean I was doing it all the time. When my daughter was born, I did really step it up a notch, and I fed her very well. I didn't feed her gluten. I didn't feed her sugar. I would do farm fresh produce when I could, because I'm in an area where I could do that, and organic when I could. But still, that was hard at times, right, to keep on that flow. So, when I got introduced to Juice Plus, it just made a lot of sense to me. I knew more would be good. But yeah, basically my daughter, she wasn't really eliminating very well. And we had our chiropractor that was working on that with her. And even though I was feeding her well and doing all that, she was still picking up a lot of little colds and whatnot. And I was kind of, disappointed because I felt like I was doing a lot of preventative care and feeding her healthy. So basically, the chiro told me that once I got her gut moving better, that's when, her immune health would be good or get better. And also, her vocabulary, I thought she had a delay. And that was another thing that the chiropractor told me, that once her gut health got better, I would see an increase in that. So enter Juice Plus, and then basically, yeah, within 2 weeks that she was eating it, she started eliminating more, and her vocabulary just exploded. Her dad noticed, my mom noticed, so that was awesome. And the next thing I noticed in myself, I would go through phases of eating well throughout the years, but I'd fall back off. I noticed that when I've been taking Juice Plus, that I don't, I might like have and cheat a little bit, but I don't get off the track so much. Like I get back on the track a lot better, if that makes sense. And I feel like it helps with that. And I also noticed better mood. I was happier. And yeah, those were the biggest things. But thank you for letting me share.
Oh my gosh, Jenny, it's so great to hear all that. I was just thinking while you're sharing, I wish you were at your salon so you could show us your beautiful tower garden. Yeah, sometime you'll have to do the call from there so we can see that. She's got a gorgeous tower garden that she's been showing on Facebook, and all the greens coming down. So
Yeah,
thank
you.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. Well, I love being able to share about Juice Plus. It really is one of the most simple things we do every day, and yet one of the most profound, honestly. So I found Juice Plus probably, 4 years ago now. And I had a friend who shared with me, and I was struggling at the time because I had a son who was 4 years old and had just been checked out of the pediatric intensive care unit because of asthma. And this was the 4th time he had been hospitalized in his little 4 years of life. And I was just beyond knowing what to do, because you see, we lived well and ate clean, and I knew all this stuff. And yet there was something more that Elijah needed. And he had a different start. He was in the NICU and had a lot of inflammation, I think, just from that, just hard start. He had a lot of antibiotics, all of that. So I thought, what can I do? What more can I do for this child? Because I didn't want to put him on the steroids that they're, writing scripts for me left and right. And not that I wanted to put him in danger. I'm a mama. I didn't want to put my son in danger, but I wanted to help heal him from the inside out. And the steroid was going to be what I call a symptom manager. Okay. It was going to manage the symptoms, be up here, but down here, whatever was causing the asthma to begin with, and asthma is autoimmune, was just going to keep doing its thing. So I listened to my friend Julie, another Julie, and said, all right, I'll try Juice Plus. No expectations. But you know what? 2 months went by, and then 4, and then 6. And he had another asthma bout, but it didn't flare like it did before. He didn't go to the hospital. We didn't have to give him steroids. He just managed to quiet down a little bit. We got through it. The next time, same thing, didn't get crazy, was less. And now it's been almost 2 years since he's had anything asthma related. He never went back to that hospital. And those scripts are horribly outdated. I mean, they're expired. We never had to use them. And at the same time, this mama is pregnant with her 8th baby. Okay, so I have 8 children, and I was pregnant at the time with my sweet Vivian, who is 3.5 now. And I've always struggled with anemia. And that's been just something I've dealt with, and I've learned that was my normal. I always was tired, but that's what I knew, right? I just pressed on. So I expected nothing with Juice Plus, because iron never did anything for me. I tried every iron supplement known to man. Nothing ever happened. Nothing ever changed. I was on Juice Plus, you guys, for 3.5 months, and my blood levels jumped into a normal range and have remained there for the first time in 30 plus years. So what's that all about? Because there's no iron even listed on that bottle, but clearly there is iron in there because it's in the food, right? It's in the dark leafy greens, but it needed a lot of other things. They're called cofactors to be able to work in my body, and Juice Plus had that. So at that point, that's when I knew we all needed to take this and be on Juice Plus, because it's kind of our health insurance, if you will. We all have what we call health insurance, but don't you think it's kind of wrongly named? It really should be like sick insurance, because you need it when you're sick. But how about health insurance? Like, it's the little thing I do every day. It's called cumulative prevention. Cumulative prevention, a little bit every day, so that I don't ever have to use my sick insurance. That's what I do. And I love sharing it with other people. So thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording.